tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Lenny, what's up, man? I'm Derrial. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you as well. I'm great. Oh my goodness, thanks for having me.
Hey, man, we're excited to have you. I mean, I feel like we have the whole Ruthless cast on our show the last couple of weeks. We had Yvonne on. We got a couple other people coming on. Courtney Stewart is great. Looking great. Courtney, you look like you got a little summertime going on. You ready for the summertime?
Summertime. Summertime in my house. Summertime in the house.
The summer flair.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Gotta keep it. The one time a day or a week to get dressed.
Exactly. Right, exactly. It gives me an excuse. You don't want to see what's below the navel though right now. You just want to see what's up, chest and up.
Hey, I'm like the news reporter, so this is great.
Right, exactly. I'm like the news reporter on Good Morning America, the guy a week ago who got caught with his pants down, literally.
I didn't see that. Well, I gotta check that out.
Oh, that was hilarious. It was hilarious.
What are you doing?
Man, you're in New York, right?
Yes, sir. Epicenter of all the craziness. Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the real craziness there. I mean, California isn't far behind, but New York, you guys, you've been hit hard the last couple months.
It's been rough. It's been, oh my gosh, what has it been? almost 8 weeks now? Yeah. I try not to go outside much just because I'm trying to follow the rules. But when I do for, groceries and whatnot, man, I wish more people were adhering to the rules. But then again, I'm like, what is your situation? Why are you not following the rules? You never know what's going on here. It's kind of bonkers, but I love my city.
What have you been doing to stay sane?
I have been exercising maybe 4 or 5 times a week, reading when I have the focus to do it, because I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to focus these days. Meditation has been really great. Like I have a bunch of guided ones I do, and these breathing exercises that aid to it, that aided. But yeah, and hanging out with my lady. We are the best of friends. So thankfully, yeah.
Hey, that's helpful.
Hey.
Yes, super helpful. I don't want to be in this nonsense alone. What?
Quarantine and chilling. I ain't mad at you, brother.
Quarantine and chilling.
But listen, man, your show is doing great. Ruthless on BET Plus. Tyler Perry's new production. I mean, I don't know when the man sleeps, but he continues to make unbelievable work. And you have a very interesting character on there. See, I'm into kind of like these dark storylines and these menacing type of storylines, and your character is quite menacing, actually. You're the enforcer. You get to play some dark things, and you got a pretty powerful role. You're right next to the highest guy on the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is crazy the things that happen throughout the season, and I mean every episode literally leaves you hanging off the edge of a cliff, and I get to be most of the reason why you're hanging on the edge of a cliff a lot of times, I like to say. And it's so funny because this is so far from who I am as a person that to have this kind of reception of that character has kind of blown my mind a lot. I'm like, you guys have no idea who I really am. You might think I'm this crazy dude who will do anything for his code. Anything.
Well, so, clearly, you convinced them all.
Clearly.
Go ahead, Courtney.
I was going to say, what did you do to get to that darkness and find that darkness in this character?
Oh, man. Well, beautifully. Interestingly enough, Icon is a version of myself who I might have been if I didn't have strong Black women in my life. I'll say it right off GP. Like, I had a lot of demons I had to exercise, right? And if not for those people in my life, I could have gone to jail. I could have been with the wrong crowds. I could have been involved in a lot of nonsense. So it's almost as if a piece of that, like the memory of that energy and that personhood, like stuck with me. So I'm able to tap into it. And through my acting training, I was able to really tap into it. And I don't know, it's almost like flipping a switch now. And also when you have amazing castmates as I do, like they let me play, they let me go there, and they act off of me, and that just gives me so much fuel for the fire, you know? So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of
I don't really think
also,
about it because it's crazy.
Now, a lot of actors also have a hard time when they are playing sort of these darker characters and things, shaking it off at the end of the day and coming out of that. Did you have any trouble with that, or how did you sort of separate that once you were done?
It was easy-ish for the first like 2 weeks. I was just like, you know, when they say action, I'm Daikon, boom, and you know, I know what it's like to want something so bad that you will do anything for it, and you might step on toes to do it. I know what that energy is like, right? But I think the third weekend, I fell in love with my cast. I was like, I'm tired of treating y'all like trash. I was having nightmares, like it was getting crazy. I'm like, all right, I gotta do something. Like this is too much. I'm on edge all the time. Like, but yeah, and it was interesting when I voiced this to my castmates, like I was like, guys, I'm tired of treating you like trash. And they all ran and hugged me and whatnot. And I was like, okay, I feel better now. This is great. There we go. Okay, you guys, it's all in my mind. You don't really hate me. But wow, yeah. You got to be aware if you're playing these dark characters that it can consume you for sure.
Well, let's just acknowledge the fact of the dopeness of the name, Daikon. You know what? Like, right? I want to take that name. I think I'm gonna name my son Daikon. Like, that's some powerful right there. That's some powerful right there. Daikon. What's your name? Daikon. Daikon. What? Nobody's messing with you when your name is Daikon.
No, it's scary.
Nobody, right? And it's funny, before we started shooting, no one really knew how to pronounce the name. So, you know, people were saying Deacon, people were saying Dickon, people were saying all types of wrongness. And then when Tyler finally confirmed it, like, I couldn't walk anywhere around set without someone screaming, Daikon, 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 Daikon. Best cult members of all time. Daikon, 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 Daikon. I mean, it was nuts. But yeah, that name is definitely powerful.
And then I hear
my
that
middle
you
name
had
is
a very...
so people are calling me Lenny Daikon Thomas now, also.
Oh, hey, that's not a bad thing, man.
Hey,
I'll take it. I mean,
you made your mark.
They watch
you made the mark. And I hear you very interesting process with your auditions, which a lot of people I hear have that when it comes to Tyler because he moves so quickly, is that you literally auditioned, self-taped yourself on a Thursday, and by Sunday, you were on a plane, and by that next Wednesday, you were filming.
Yeah. I've never been shot out of a cannon before, and that was the closest thing to being shot out of a cannon. And then the turnaround, because of how fast he shoots, I was like, how is this? What, we're doing 100 pages a day? We're doing 100 pages a day? How is that possible? But I was more determined than I was nervous or anxious. I was like, you know, I'm gonna take this nervousness, this anxiousness, and turn it to excitement. I have people depending on me, and when the shoe is on the foot like that, when people are depending on you, you can do anything. It's amazing what you can do. And then it just so happens that my cast is so loving and caring, and we looked out for each other like we've done this before, like we've been here before, like we were born to do this particular project together. It blew my mind. I didn't want to go home. I was like, I live in Atlanta now. I decided I'm not leaving. I'm staying. You know? But yeah, it took everything to do this well, and so far so good. Oof. Every week. I love what
you said about the fact of you took that nervous energy and made it energy, like, you know, because I know for me, I would be that turnaround, that quickness, and then I know that Tyler's kind of like a one take kind of guy, and you know, that's some pressure right there. You know what I mean? Like, that's pressure. And for you to be able to do that and just come out of it and turn that around, that's dope, man. That's like inspirational words for many people. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it's also kind of amazing what you can do when, I mean, I'll keep it a buck. My life was kind of falling apart, like right around the time I got the role. Like, you know, I broke up we're back together now, but you know, I just get out of a bad breakup. I moved out of the spot the week of flying to Atlanta. Like, I'm scattered, and this was my opportunity to not go back to my survival jobs, which, you know, unfortunately, I just couldn't stand them anymore. I've been doing it for years, and they were taking a toll on my spirit. So I was like, do or die, Mr. Thomas. You're gonna bust this down in the best way if it kills you. And thankfully, I survived. Let's see what season 2 brings.
Put it out there.
And put it out there. We're gonna put that in the universe. And then working with Tyler, you know, since he is obviously just the master of what he does, have you taken away anything or learned anything about yourself personally from working with him and just observing how he is on set, or how he does his writing, or how he does his directing? What is something that you may have taken away from that you can use for your future in this business?
Presence. There are, I don't know many people alive, or I don't think I've met anyone with a presence like his. And it was almost as if he was the general of a military. You know what I mean? The way everything moved around him, the way it was a collective effort, but we followed his lead. Everyone was trying to keep up with him. There was no like, it was like, all right, Tyler's here, cool, let's get it. You know what I mean? The biggest thing I took away is that I can dream bigger. Like, I want my version of what he has, because he blew my mind. I'm like, wow, okay, so this is how you do this. Okay. And you took yourself from nothing to an empire. You have a Black Hollywood / Disneyland world in Georgia. What? Come on, brother. Like, if that's not inspiring in and of itself, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Yeah, dream bigger. That's the biggest thing. Dream bigger. Want more for yourself so that you can give more to others. Because that's another thing that I took from him. If you're not here trying to better someone else's life, you're kind of missing the point of life. You know what I mean? I personally don't need much to be happy. And most of my happiness comes with how I can benefit someone else's life, whether it's family or a close friend. Like, I would love to scale that up if it's meant for me, but if I'm in this life for me, this life is whack. Sorry. You know?
I feel that. I mean, especially, I think we're learning that right now with being on lockdown and being quarantined.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth.
I love it.
Yeah. And then with the show, what's been some of your, like, what's been one of your favorite episodes to shoot?
So because we shot like 10 different episodes at once, like every day were scenes from 10 different episodes. Like we shot pretty much everything on the compound the first week and a half, and then they switch focus to I would say the FBI and the cops, right? So my favorite, oh man, it hasn't shown yet, so I don't know if I can say it or if it's smart to say it, but I had to learn how to ride an ATV in like 5 minutes. I've never ridden an ATV in my life. I've never ridden a motorcycle. I mean, I used to ride motor scooters, and those things are like pathetically slow. This thing has some power. So, like, okay, cool. Tyler wants to shoot in 10 minutes. So you're gonna hop on this. I turn it on and just ease on. I'm like, I'm gonna what? I'm doing what? Oh, I mean, we got a stunt guy if you want. And I was like, no. I have a chance to do my own stunts. I'm a pray I won't hurt myself and give it my best. But that was probably the most fun moment shooting was riding around the ATV. Yeah.
The ATVs.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you talked a little bit about how, you know, obviously Tyler is an inspiration and what was it like for you just to go to the studio and like go to his lot and just that experience alone? Like, what was that energy like?
Oh man. Since from the moment of being, getting the offer to flying out, right, on the flight over, I've never flown first class before. That was amazing. I literally felt my body, my physiology changed. Like, this is like, hey, you are no longer this person who left New York. You are in another plane. Ride that wave, right? Oh my goodness. It was like a fairy tale. It was like, it was like a dream. It's interesting enough. He has this big old building called the Dream Building, and it's one of the first things you see when you get into the complex. But I'm like, someone's gonna pinch me, and I'm gonna wake up in Brooklyn. I know it. I'm even now today, I'm like, someone's gonna come by, and be like, oh, by the way, click. No, you're still in Brooklyn, bro. Sorry. I mean, it's crazy. It was like an affirmation from the universe itself saying, hey, you know that man that you wanted to be? Here you go. Go be that man right now. Go do it right now. And I was like, well, okay, let's get it. Let's step to it. Let's not question. Let's just tunnel vision and bang. You got people to show up for. Boom. You're already winning. Let's go. You know? Yeah.
It's like it was the time.
It was the time. It was like the timing couldn't have been more perfect, for real.
And now, are you one of those people that as far as like manifesting things and believing in the universe that things happen for a certain reason, or that you can manifest these things into existence in your life?
To an extent, yes. I feel like actually to the highest extent. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. You won't get exactly what you ask for, but you'll get a variation of it. Like I watched this documentary called The Secret, and I've seen the book, and I've heard of the concept before, but for some reason this one time it just hit. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. And the very next day I got an affirmation confirming I was like, no way, this is nonsense. I didn't expect this. It was a residual for something that for a TV show that I did that was way more than I expected. And I was like, whoa, wait, what just happened? Because this is a step towards the direction of what I asked for. And then I was like, you know what, let's not stop there. Let's not question it. Let's go deeper with it. What does it feel like to have the thing you want?
Yeah.
And then reverse engineer it. And then one after the other, I'm like, wait a second, I'm knocking all these goals off my list. All these dreams I had are becoming a reality. Wait, maybe we're more powerful than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we should tap into that source and find a way to pay it forward so that it keeps coming back around. Because if you don't pay it forward, like I've said, what's the point? What do you need all that stuff for? What do you need all that stuff for? If it's not to bless somebody else, what do you need all that stuff for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I believe that you get blessed by giving blessings. You know what I mean? Not that you do it on purpose,
Yes.
but not that you do it to get back, but
Exactly.
You definitely get blessed by your heart. You know what I mean? And just wanting to give. I truly believe
Exactly. Yeah. One of my favorite silent mentors. He doesn't know I exist quite yet. His name is Eric Thomas. He's E.T. the hip hop preacher. One of the things he says, be a blessing while you're waiting on your blessings. If you know me and have come into contact with me, you know that's how I get down. And it's not a coincidence that I'm as fortunate as I am. It's because I started following this mantra, this moniker, this way of thinking, and energetically as well. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't really believe in coincidences anymore. I think what happens is what's supposed to happen, even if bad or good. But if you keep putting the good out, what you put out comes back. So you got to be mindful. You know what I mean? You got to be mindful in that space.
And for someone who has maybe not seen the show or has heard about the show and wants to tune in, how would you describe it to them to get them to watch the show?
If you want a glimpse of what it's like to be in a off-the-wall cult, deeper than the stories that we've heard of to this day, definitely tune in. If you want to know what it's like to devote yourself to a belief to the point where you are willing to sacrifice your state of mind and well-being, check that out. And if you like drama, please tune in, because this oh my gosh. 5 minutes in, you're like, what am I watching?
It's a roller coaster.
Seriously.
Yeah, and Tyler has a special way of actually intertwining real life stories into his writing and into his productions as well.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Oof. And I'm wondering, because this is a spinoff of The Oval, and I can just see those worlds colliding very soon. I can't wait to see what he comes up with. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, he's never disappointing.
No.
Seriously.
Well, another aspect of this show that we like to do is we talk about a topic that's going on in the news per week.
Mm-hmm.
And in this particular week, I know a lot of people, we've been in an uproar because of what happened to the young African-American man in Atlanta, Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah. And tomorrow, I just noticed today that they're doing a run for him tomorrow to celebrate his birthday that's coming up. He was 25, as everyone knows with the story, and was gunned down by two gunmen who allegedly said that he was doing some illegal things in their neighborhood, and it turned to violence, and they shot him. And these men are still running free. So this story has hit the headlines. As an African-American man, as an African-American actor, you know, how did you feel when you saw this story? You know, where it hits close to home for us all, but how did you feel when you saw this particular story this week?
Unfortunately, because this is such a prevalent thing, that's just what it seemed like it would just never stop happening. Like I've desensitized myself to everything going on. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm literally like, when is it my turn? You know what I mean? When is it gonna be? When am I gonna find myself on the other side of somebody's gun? Who, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like some radical change needs to happen. I don't know how, but now, I know now. You know what I mean? And it's just like, because it's only a matter of time before again and again and again and again and again. And honestly, to keep myself from feeling debilitated, I had to protect, you know what I mean? Because seriously, every time I leave my house, I'm in New York City. Every time I leave my house, I have that fear on the back of my head. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? Like, what's gonna happen? What are we becoming? What you know? It's I don't have words for it. It's tragic. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I'm so. There's this quote James Baldwin said, to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be full of rage every single day and fighting off that rage every single day. And that's how I feel. Like I'm literally, I have to meditate. If I don't, I'm gonna be so mad. I have to do these, I have to work out. I have to be mindful about what I'm doing. I have to be conscious of, you know, what I'm giving my energy and how I'm treating the people in my life. I have to be, because I might find myself in a situation where I'm having a bad day, whereas for a white guy having a bad day, he'll be treated a certain way. But for me, I could end up riddled with bullets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So it's it almost makes me like, I feel bad for playing daikon, you know what I mean? In situations where the evils of the world show their face, I'm like, damn. Well, you know, I'm telling a story, so I can't be too hung up on that. But he's a symptom, literally, of the system. He is a symptom of this thing that's been happening. So I can't even blame him for being how he is, because I mean, you put something up under enough pressure, it's gonna bust, it's gonna burst or break or crumble. Yeah, if it's a pipe, stand back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I feel like, I feel like Black men specifically, we are pipes ready to burst, because you know, at any second, someone can just take us out and not go to jail or not suffer any consequence. It's like, is it open season on us? Are we like deer all of a sudden? Like, what is happening? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the positive of it is that at least we're seeing there's such an outrage over this that people are banding together, and they are, and I mean, everyone's social media yesterday was blowing up with the image of Ahmaud and just the support around this to get these guys in jail. And you know, I noticed people who were non-African American and Latino who also were posting to support the justice for this story. And you know, I think that's a powerful message within itself. You know, and
that thankfully is happening. You know what I mean? Like, we all should be enraged right now. You know what I mean? All of us.
Everybody.
And taking some type of action. I have no idea what to do. The helplessness is another reason why I try to not respond with rage, is because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with this information. I don't know how I can help. I have no idea what to do. And it just seems like, we're living in the world of Batman, where criminals can just do whatever they want and get away with it. You know what I mean?
True.
Especially under our current political leader.
Seriously.
We'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
Well,
under the current leader. But I mean, at least in this situation, I feel exactly, obviously, all the feelings you guys have expressed as well, like helplessness in ways that I can't even deal with. But there are things that are being done. So we just want to encourage everybody. If you haven't seen it, we'll put it in I guess we can put it in the link of our, of this video, like where you can email. We're still sending emails to the police chief and to the DA's office. Inundate them with emails and phone calls. And if you're in Georgia, if you're in Georgia and can get to Brunswick, the Glenn County Courthouse, they're doing a protest tomorrow at 10 a.m. On the stairs there. If you want to donate to the protesters so that they can have water and things like that, we can also give you a link for that and where you can donate for that. So at least you feel like you're doing something. Because for me also, even though I saw all the social media posts, I don't know how you guys feel, but like the social media activism felt almost, it made my helplessness worse. Like I felt like, okay, here we go, posting his face again. Everybody's saying these wonderful things about him and say his name, but like, is that going to do anything?
Or what's
like that? You know what I'm saying? So what's the action? So I do appreciate that there are people on the ground. Actually, a former schoolmate of mine who's an attorney in Georgia is leading the charge, like sending letters he's spoken to the mayor and done a bunch of different things. So we will definitely share that information and keep looking it up, guys, because it sucks to just feel, especially we're in the house sitting here and all we have just to sit and think about it and to feel like you really can't, like I feel even more helpless because I feel like I'm just like stuck in the house, not allowed to do anything. So the email will help you feel better, like just help us out and keep sending the emails because that's what we have right now.
It's all about the support.
Figure it out. Yep.
And we got to wrap up soon, Lenny. So speaking of being in the house and on lockdown, outside of your show, what other things are you binge watching that are keeping you sane?
Oh man, I just finished season 3 of Ozark. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that's my show. That's my show.
Listen, that show is phenomenal. Got me looking at my lady like, can we Marty Bird and Wendy Bird the game? Can we just take over this? Can we get it popping like that? You know what I mean? Besides that, what's the latest? Ooh, Watchmen. My gosh.
Oh yeah.
Like the timing. Yeah. I watched it twice. That's how affected I was by it. I'm like, I didn't even really care much for the comic. I shouldn't have said that out loud, but I did. I didn't really care much for the comic. But this show, like any show that's willing to tackle a historical situation and expose things that you wouldn't necessarily learn in history class, even though we should be learning about this stuff in history class, I'm all for it. Seriously. Let's take the veils over our heads and see what's been going on and, learn from it so we can stop doing the same nonsense and have a better life. Like, for real, it's time. We're too smart for this. Yeah, it's time. We're too smart for this.
100%.
And what's the first thing that you're doing once this lockdown is over?
Oh, man. I want to give my mama a hug and a kiss. I haven't seen her in that long. She's like my number one supporter. And I can't imagine, because I told her once, upon a time, I'm going to make it big. And I got to say, Mom, I made it. You know what I mean? But I just want to, as the world is learning about her son, I want to know what that seems and feels like from her eyes. But the best I can do is just love on her until I can. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the first thing I want to do.
Well, Mother's Day is this weekend, so
Mother's Day is Sunday.
I hope you.
Oh man,
Sunday.
I'm gonna give her a virtual kiss.
Well, Lenny, where can fans find more about your character, Daikon, and any new projects that you're working on? I know you got several things coming up, like Barbara and Blood Conscious and the Operation. But if people want to know about that, where can they find you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram at Lenny Thomas, and same thing as Twitter, Lenny Thomas. I love to post about the goings on of my career. I don't really post too many personal things just because for right now, it's just, that's just something I'd rather wait till later to do. I don't know. I feel like now, you know, entertainment and uplifting things is what's the most necessary. So, you know, if my personal isn't, you know, so super uplifting, I don't really want to post it. I'd rather not do that. But as far as other projects, like these films, sometimes they take forever. So you'll learn about them throughout. I'll keep my social medias updated with that. But definitely reach out on social, on Lenny Thomas, at Lenny Thomas on both Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
And Courtney, where can fans find you?
I am all over social media at Stewart Starlet.
And I'm on social media under Derrial, Christon, and all the platforms. Lenny, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today, man. You got to come back.
Likewise.
You know, especially when that season 2 kicks off, you got to come back and you know, give us some more insight, and also on these new films that you got coming up and these TV specials and things. So, you know, we want to follow your career, man, and congratulations. You got great energy.
Thank you.
So I'm looking forward to seeing where your career goes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Looking forward to meeting you guys one of these days. That'd be dope.
I know, exactly.
You know what I mean?
In studio.
In the studio.
Yes, in person. What's that mean? What does that mean? I know.
That seems like an ancient saying now, right?
Old concept.
Atlantis, yeah.
Right. All right, Lenny. Well, it was a pleasure having you. Right, exactly.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, you take care now. I appreciate you.
All right.
Our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.